The question, why do you want to work for this company, is the most important interview question you'll get. And if you aren't answering this question perfectly, chances are it's costing you job offers. Because the truth is, the top reps know exactly what hiring teams want to hear when they ask this question, and they answer in a way that gets their interviewers excited to hire them every single time. That's why you see these sellers landing jobs at the top tech companies over and over again. I'm Cam Wright. I'm an account executive at a VC-backed SaaS company. I've landed job offers at some of the most competitive companies in tech, and I've interviewed tons of salespeople, so I know exactly what sales managers are looking for when they ask this question. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to answer why do you want to work for this company so you can get more tech sales job offers. And make sure you watch until the end because I'm going to walk you through a real life example. Let's dive in. All right, so you want to answer this question using a three-part framework. A tee-up to ensure your answer really sinks in, followed by your actual reasons, and then a conclusion that brings everything together. Now, the first step to answering this question, the tee-up, actually surprises a lot of people because you actually start by talking about yourself, not the company you're interviewing with. And this is because you need to set a foundation if you want the part that's about the company to really sink in. So you'll start by sharing your motivation. And really all you're doing here is sharing a quick summary of your most relevant goals, interests, and traits. And I'll explain more shortly, but the key here is to ensure that whatever goals or interests you share can be tied back to the company and role you're interviewing for. So some examples could be maybe you enjoy sales and want to be a sales exec one day. Maybe it's an interest in artificial intelligence or other emerging technologies, or maybe it's a desire to take on a bunch of responsibilities and build something from the ground up. Part 2 of the framework is where you actually share the reasons why you want to work at the company. But keep in mind that just sharing a few reasons isn't going to be good enough. Your reasons need to meet 2 criteria. And I actually learned what these criteria were last year during an interview training. Our lead recruiter was running a session and she said, tech sales is a challenging job and we need to ensure that anyone we hire has a strong why so they don't give up when things get tough. So if their why isn't both personal and well-informed, we won't move them forward. So to ensure that the reasons you share meet this criteria, they need to align with your goals and interests, right? This makes them personal. And that's why step 1 is so important because it tees up that connection. And then 2 is they need to be clearly well-researched to the point where your answers would not make sense for another company. So take a look at the company's website, read case studies, look the company up on YouTube and see if you can find any product reviews or even CEO interviews, and then write down what excites you about the company. Some of my favorite things to highlight here are leadership. So maybe there's a visionary CEO or sales leadership with a great track record. The market opportunity. So is the market growing? Is the market changing? Is the company well positioned to take advantage of these changes? Could be the product, right? So what interests you about it? Is there a certain advantage over the competition? And then the characteristics of the sales org are always good to mention, right? Things like training and investment in sales reps. And then remember, once you have a few well-researched reasons, make sure that they tie back to your own interests and goals. So for example, highlighting the company's sales training program could work well if you shared career goals. Mentioning the product would be great if you could tie it back to your interest in the industry, for example. All right, part 3. So this is where you'll bring it all together, and it's actually the part that most candidates mess up. With any hiring decision, there needs to be a mutual exchange of value, right? Companies hire salespeople so they can hit revenue targets, not just to fulfill people's career aspirations. So yes, you want to make it crystal clear that you want to work there, but you can really differentiate yourself if you can tie your motivation for wanting to work there back to helping the company achieve their targets. So it's a bit counterintuitive, but the third part of the framework is highlighting a win-win situation. So you're going to end by recapping how your motivations align with and support the company's objectives. So for instance, if you are knowledgeable about the industry the company operates in, this can be as simple as highlighting how this is a great opportunity for you to come in, hit the ground running, and then overachieve your sales targets. So bringing it all together, here's an example for someone interviewing for an SDR role at Snowflake. I've always had a passion for emerging tech, and I recently graduated with a degree in data analytics. I interned as an SDR before graduating and loved it. So my immediate goals are to learn a bunch as an SDR and then move into an AE role in the data space. So there's a few reasons that really excite me about the opportunity here at Snowflake. 1, Snowflake is positioning itself well to capture the growing enterprise AI market. I think the recent appointment of Sridhar as CEO really solidifies that. Two, I saw that Snowflake invests 7 times more than the average company into their sales reps, and that's super valuable to me at this point in my career. And then finally, I've spoken with a ton of reps, and everyone says that it's an amazing place to work at. So it feels like a great fit. The role aligns with my interests and goals, and with my background, I feel really confident that I can jump right in and help expand market share in Toronto. All right, so that's it. Your 3-part framework for answering the inevitable "why do you want to work for this company" interview question. If you use this framework, I guarantee that you will land more job offers. However, there are also a ton of other things that you need to do well to consistently land these competitive tech sales roles. Now, if you're trying to break into the industry, you can grab my free tech sales job search get started checklist that I've linked in the description below. It's going to give you the 8 things that you need to do before even applying to roles to maximize your chances of breaking into tech sales. Well, that's it for today. Again, my name is Cam Wright. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications because I'll be posting more content about tech sales and sharing my best advice for breaking into the industry. I'll see you in the next one.